Hey, it's Travis Anderson with Keller Williams Realty here, and in this video we're going to talk about when is the best time to list your home for sale. Hey, it's Travis Anderson with Keller Williams Realty, helping you sell your home fast and for more cash. So I get this question all the time, Travis, when is the best time to list my home for sale? But I brought a graph here I wanted to show you. Take a look at this here. These are new listings in the market in the last couple of years. Take a look at that, how it just starts at the beginning of the year and goes way up and peaks here and then dips way down and bottoms out and then goes way up in the middle of the year and dips way down. Essentially, this is the beginning of every year. We have the least amount of homes for sale available in the Twin Cities, and then it peaks right in the middle of the year, June, July, August, kind of in there, and it just goes all the way back down to bottom out for the next year. So when we talk about the price of your home and we talk about when the best time to sell might be, based on that graph, it would be at the lowest point, right? Because that lowest point, you would have less competition, supply and demand. The less homes for sale, the more your chances of selling, right? Well, check this out. I'm going to show you another graph. This is pending home sales in Minnesota. Notice how it's the same curve. You see that? How we bottom out here, we top out in the middle, and we bottom out at the end of the year again, right? So that means that in Minnesota anyways, and this is the market as a whole, the supply of homes and the demand of homes bottom out at the end of every year, and they begin to increase dramatically. And then they start to decrease dramatically, okay? So that means, in theory, the best time to put your home on the market would be to when you're matching the supply and the demand increasing. You see, let me put it another way. We never really know if we're in a buyer's or a seller's market until you look backwards at the previous market, right? We never know we're coming into recovery until we're out of a recession. We never know that we're in a recession until we're out of a recovery. And so the best moment in time, if we're trying to time the market, would be to when you can predict when both supply and demand are moving in an upward trending direction, instead of a downward trending direction, okay? And if that's the case, and this is pretty typical of most markets in Minnesota. This isn't an exact science when I'm giving you the entire market here. This isn't exact science, but in most cases, my advice is that if you can time this market and get your home on the market well before May, well before what we think is the spring market, then you'll be hitting the market on its upward trend for demand, not on its downward trend for demand. I hope this helps answer that question, but I'm going to go one step further here. I was born in February. My children are born in January, March, and November. I'm not sure when you're watching this video when you might be born, but here's the other thing. People don't buy and sell real estate because of trends like this. People buy and sell real estate because they have a baby. They have a divorce or a death in the family, or they get married, or they have another baby, or there's twins or something like that, right? And so the reason that we buy and sell real estate has very little to do with that. It has more to do with our life circumstances. So the best news I can give you today, in a perfect world, you would time that market at the beginning of the year well before May. That's a perfect world. But the great news is, if you can't time the market, don't worry. These graphs are very, very similar, meaning that if you price your home in the beginning of the year or list your home in the beginning of the year, the supply relative to the demand, or you do it in the middle of the year, the supply relative to the demand is very, very similar. When we look at those two graphs against each other, we get more of a balance of supply and demand. We aren't seeing this big up and down swing like you get when you're looking at them individually. So the good news is, if now is not the right time, if January, February, March isn't the right time for you, but June and July is, no worries. We will look at the market at that moment in time, and we will still net you more money than other agents. Hey, it's Travis Anderson here with Keller Williams Realty, again helping you sell your home fast and for more cash.